progressive overload, the art of lifting heavier and heavier objects over time to fortify your body. Few things are as certain in the iron paradise, and yet millions of lifters still hit plateaus despite how simple it is on paper to just do more weight or more reps. And this can be demotivating because, after all, especially in the fitness community, more is more, right? Well, we'll see about that. I'm Bald Omni-Man, your host for today, and using my own training to tie it all together, I'll share a new yet familiar feeling progression method that will guarantee every workout builds muscle. Even when you can't improve weight, reps, or even improve your form, it's simple enough for people completely new to the gym to use and effective enough for even advanced lifters to grow from it. So throw your pre-workout meal in the microwave, kick back, and relax. I hope you enjoy. Let's kick things off by establishing the truth behind progressive overload. You don't always need to increase weight or reps or even rep quality every time you go to the gym to have a good workout that builds muscle. Training is all about sustaining high quality work, and adding reps and weight is only one means of facilitating that. It's a cause and effect relationship, basically. For example, let's say the workouts are like building experience points and the progressive overload is the level up. Now, when you're at a lower level, every fight is going to level you up. But as you get to a higher level where you don't level up every fight, you're still getting stronger and you're seeing your experience points fill up. Much the same, if you go to the gym and you hit a great workout, it doesn't necessarily matter that you aren't adding reps or weight in the short term, because if you stack up a bunch of good workouts, progressive overload happens naturally in the long term. Now, to that end, double progressions are an awesome introduction to this idea, since they show you that you can add reps every time instead of weight. However, like with all things, even that doesn't go according to plan every time. Eventually, especially when you're not new to a movement, it just gets harder to add a rep every time. And you can only improve your form so much before it just becomes try hard. Sometimes you even do less reps than last time because you may be under recovered or otherwise not able to express your strength very well at 100%. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because it happens to everybody, even when you sleep well, eat well, and generally have smart training. So what the hell, man? What do you do? Now, lucky for us, the solution is simple. And I learned it from coaching folks of all experience levels in real life and just having the goal of making them be able to run their programs more effectively. And it's worked really well for me too. Step number one of my simple progression model is to just make the main goal of your workout to, drumroll please, have a good workout, and focus on having good workouts consistently. Focus on doing your work and doing it well, because performance is going to fluctuate anyway, baby, which is where step 2 comes into play. Give yourself a range of rep totals to hit at a given weight. Have the base be however many reps you can do on your worst day, and your ceiling is what you can do on a great day. For example, let's say you're doing 3 sets of 5 to 8. In the long term, you're naturally going to be trying to max out this rep range with form that trashes your muscles. But on your worst day, let's say that you can't even get 3x5 and you just get 14 total reps. On your best day, you hit that 24. The real goal here is over the long term to be able to hit 24 reps as consistently as you can. But as long as you can get at least 14 with effective technique that trashes your muscles, that's still a good workout and it's still going to build some muscle. Now, there's a damn good reason why we work within these parameters and not just try to add reps every time, because for one, progress isn't linear in the first place. Now, for two, hitting one workout where you have less reps doesn't mean that there's an issue. And three, hitting a weight once for a lot of reps doesn't mean anything, because you can grow from that exact performance multiple times before you truly master the weight. Which finally leads us to step 3, which is the simplest of them all. Here's just where you adjust the weight up or down, or where you address your recovery between sessions. First, in terms of lowering the weight or addressing your recovery, hitting lower reps once just means your performance fluctuated. However, if you're consistently hitting lower end reps, that tells you that you need to address your diet, your sleep, or just plain old reduce the load. Next, in terms of adding weight, if you're consistently hitting or surpassing the top end of your rep range, bada bing, bada boom, you add some weight. The beautiful part of this progression method, all jokes aside, fellas, is that it even adjusts automatically as per your experience level as a lifter. Meaning, on one hand, for newer lifters, you're going to add weight fast because you level up faster on account of being lower leveled, like we mentioned. Now, for folks who've been training for a while, you'll hang out there longer before you add weight because you level up a little bit slower. And there you have it, folks. That's how you run this simple progression model in 3 simple steps. Now, with regards to when you should use it, this works best for upper body compound lifts, isolation exercises, and lower body machines. You can use it for barbell squat and deadlift variations too, but as you get stronger, something more similar to my Beast Slayer program might be more effective. That prioritizes creating momentum within your training, which is better for lower body lifts when you're on the stronger side. Now, if you're interested, you can find that program for free in the description on Boostcamp. That being said, let's head over to the gym to put it all together using a bench press workout that I hit recently. So hop on your bike, let's head on down to the gym. I'll see you there. Bench press is arguably the best invention mankind has ever conceived, next to the peanut butter jelly sandwich and action figures. It's your favorite exercise's favorite exercise, that character in a fighting game that everybody picks. It's accessible, fun, and is the main character of the gym universe. Mandatory bench glaze aside, let's use a cambered bar bench workout to help put things that we talked about in Chapter 1 into perspective. I'll be using the progression model outlined in Chapter 1 as is, or combine the principles with another progression model that I like, as you'll see with my first exercise. To kick things off, I have a couple sets of cambered bar bench press that give a pretty good estimation of where my performance is at.
Your calculations, did they predict that Goku would be a Super Saiyan? Super Saiyan?
Recently hit that pretty comfortably, and this particular variation is significantly more difficult than a regular bench press on, say, my Omni bar, which in of itself is more difficult than a normal ass barbell bench press. More than the difficulty, I really love cambered bar bench pressing on this bar in particular because that extra range of motion makes it feel like a fly press hybrid, which ultimately just smokes your pecs better than anything else. Training wise, there's a couple things that I think about that make bench pressing more comfortable in general. So for one, controlling the groove on the warm-ups really helps me connect well with my pecs to take advantage of the extra range of motion in the first place. Now for two, I like to warm up pretty fast so that I actually get warm, but not so fast or with so many reps that I tire myself out. And lastly, to create stability, I don't so much focus on pulling my shoulders back, but pulling them down, in other words, depressing them. As I was warming up, 315 honestly did feel harder than 350, but it did wake up my pecs, and after I hit that, I knew instantly that 350 would be a dish for the pack. And yeah, it was pretty easy. I also felt good for 360 or more, but when I do singles, I like to leave more on the table for the next training cycle, just to give myself better momentum. Speaking of momentum, after you do top singles near your maximum, when you drop back down in weight, the first few reps are gonna feel like air, but then you hit your wall a lot faster in the middle of the set than you might think, so just keep that in mind. Now overall, I'm actually following a system where I move up in weight linearly each week, but the principles of the method that we talked about in Chapter 1 can still be used. For example, I've hit 315 pounds on the cambered bar bench press for 4 reps somewhat recently, so I knew that on this session, where I was prescribed 290 pounds, I could at the very worst grind out 4 hard reps even if I was weak as hell on that day. So later, when I was prescribed 290 pounds, my goal was to get no less than 4 reps, and it would be a big win if I did it easily. Using past data and taking what you're good for on the day falls perfectly in line with what we talked about in Chapter 1 on a principle level. Now conversely, when I do ring push-ups next, I'm purely applying that simple progression model in the truest sense. I'm just trying to stack up high quality chest pumps where I'm pushing really close to failure, and then I add weight or reps as needed to achieve that. Progression method aside, ring push-ups are a great roll compression movement in my program. Roll compression is something that I learned from playing Pokemon, where you just pick certain Pokemon that are good at doing multiple things since you only got 6 slots to fill. Much the same with training, it's helpful to have movements that do multiple things well because, to be honest, none of us are trying to do a million exercises at the gym. And in that respect, ring push-ups are great for hypertrophy, mobility, generating blood flow, and lastly, for home gym folks, they save on space since gymnastics rings in of themselves let you do a bunch of things with a very small footprint. That aside, form-wise, I like to turn the rings out and aim my hands back towards my hips a bit to make them more challenging. Now this is a movement that is rare and challenging at both the lengthened and shortened position, so they're deceptively challenging already, but putting your hands back makes them even harder, and I feel them more on my pecs when I do them that way. Now when I fatigue, I turn the rings back in to eke out a couple more reps. Moving on, in my Berserk Method programs like Raider or Beast Slayer, which mirror what I do in my own training pretty closely, presses go with pulls, baby, and today I chose some Supernated easy bar rows. And in my opinion, Rows are the perfect exercise to use my simple progression model on, since they're the most prone to unnecessary weight increases. And that's what I've been doing lately personally, and for the most part what I've been prescribing to people that I coach. That aside, supinated easy bar rows are actually another roll compression movement, just like the ring push-ups. They do a ton of cool things. They work my biceps a little bit, they work my core, and my lower back a little bit, all on top of smashing my upper back. And while it might not hit each of those extra rolls as well as a dedicated exercise would, they do offer enough stimulus to matter, which I think folks lose sight of when they chase maximum potential all the time. Form-wise, the biceps already smooth out the reps a little bit, but in general, I only pull to about the stick point that rows have. And once I get there, I squeeze hard as hell. Also, when it comes to working the upper back, I like pulling to a 45 and pulling to my tummy and not necessarily to my hips, because that's gonna work more lats. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I'm trying to bias. Moving on from horizontal to vertical pulls, we ain't done with calisthenics yet. Just like with the last episode's dip workout, which you can watch after you're done with this one if you're interested, you do both planes of pulling on an upper body workout. And here I'm doing L-sit pull-ups to work my core hard and to finish off my lats. Sometimes I'll go a little bit slower on the eccentric just to work my core harder, but in general, these always cook my abs just about as much as the weighted leg raises that I like to do as well. And progression-wise, since these are a body weight exercise, I'm following that simple progression model to a T here as well. Now for my penultimate exercise, I just did some overhead extensions. And aside from the progression model, I just want to illustrate just how much of a difference technique can make in terms of performance. On my first two sets, I focused a lot on shoving my elbows into a position where it was harder to move the weight. And so I did some sets of 4 and then 3 to failure. Last week, I didn't so much focus on that, and I did some sets of 5 and 6. That's actually a rep regression. Now on my last set, I just let the reps fly without really thinking about my form. And then I easily smoked 8 reps at that same weight. There's 2 things I recommend here. 1, video your sets, but more importantly, just pay attention to what you're doing while you're doing it at the gym. And in that regard, for my final exercise, that was the name of the game here as well. I go heavy or light on these just depending upon how I'm feeling on the day and where I happen to place them on that day as well. I had just hit a set of Meadows curls with 5 reps at 65 pounds, which was a PR for me. But as of this week though, I just wanted to reset my form a little bit, mostly focusing on curling with my back fully extended. That's just mostly to avoid heaving out of the bottom at all. So while again, I've done 14 or 15 reps, I think, with 50 pounds in the past, these 10 reps I hit today trashed my biceps up a lot more. Now, if that's a cue that you want to practice, eventually you're going to tire out or you'll need to just readjust. So just pause at the bottom and then readjust your back, and don't curl from a compromised position or from a position that you don't want to curl from. Either way it goes, these bad boys are like an incline curl mixed with a strict curl. So try them out and let me know what you think. And that's my workout. Not a lot of exercises, straightforward, to the point, and very effective. The key takeaway here today is that training is about piling up experience points and getting better at the game, not just leveling up. So try out my simple progression model for a few months and let me know how you like it. Now fellas, that's all she wrote for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video and subscribe if you're new, and share it with a friend. And if you're interested and you want to support the channel, go ahead and pick up my Omni bar. I made it in collaboration with my friends over at Bells of Steel. It's that 6 specialty bar that you saw me use throughout the video. And if you're interested in coaching, check out my Omni Hypertrophy app. It recently got some huge updates and I'm constantly using your feedback to make it better. You can find both of those things in the description and the pinned comment. But as always, fellas, have a great day. See you later.